This is about proteins. No? So, of course, if we discuss about proteins, let us start with what are its component of proteins. Of course, protein is known as one of the basic nutrient in our body. That is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, or lipids. That is the component of the nutrients which is needed by the body in order for us to live. Okay, so those are the components of the food that we intake. Okay, that will be subdivided into proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Of course, what makes a protein? Protein comprises of different amino acids. That is what we are going to discuss this morning. Its structure, and at the same time, what are those common amino acids? Okay, so first is what is protein, by the way. So protein, the building block of protein are amino acid. And how they are being formed? They are being formed by means of a bond. Can you still remember in your organic chemistry, there is a bond that is mostly in organic chemistry, that is a covalent bond. In our inorganic chemistry, if you talk about bonds, bonds is the one that connects between two molecules, two elements to form a compound, or two or more molecules to form a bigger component, a bigger substance. Okay, so in organic chemistry, we are delving about two types of a bond, that is ionic bond and covalent bond. If you talk about ionic bond, that is a metal and a non-metal. If you talk about covalent, that is a sharing, di ba? Ionic is a transfer of electron. Covalent is a sharing of electrons. So in covalent, that is a non-metal and another non-metal. That is why in organic compounds, it is a covalent bond. Now, same thing with the proteins. The amino acids are being connected with each other. Later on, we'll look into this by means of a bond. On what is the name of that bond? That is polypeptide, or that is a so-called peptide linkage. So peptide linkage is the bond that connects between an amino acid with another amino acid. And it could have two thousands of amino acid being connected with each other. So that is protein. So amino acid are fundamental components of our bodies, and vital physiological function of protein. What are these function of protein? Synthesis, tissue repair, and nutrient absorption. Okay, that is what is its function? The physiological function, that is synthesis, protein synthesis, then tissue repair and nutrient absorption. That is why protein is very necessary. Pwede ra walay carbohydrates as long as there is protein, because this protein intake that we have, especially kung daghan nata carbo, we have a carbo loading, or we have so many stored fat. So what happened is, if we had an intake of protein, this will be converted later on into a carbohydrates. So, pwede ra. Basta di lang walay intake. There should be an intake. There should be a food intake that we have. Especially if you have fasting, the best way for a diet is you eat 2 to 3 eggs every meal. Why? That is a complete protein. Egg is a complete protein, by the way, Gusto mo maniwang? Ako di ko kaya, bahala na mo, kay batanon pa mo. Okay. So, next thing is, how many amino acid, to come up with a protein? It will differ in different organism. It will differ. For human being, we need this 20 amino acid in order to come up with that protein block. Okay, how many? 20. Okay, so let us look into the structure of amino acid. So may amino acid this no amino acid has a formula of C, and then N ang kilid, no, then another C na po sa pikas, okay, or it will depend on its the one that will link, no, okay. So what is it? The central atom is the carbon, no, and hydrogen atom, that's C, then H. Okay, so amino acid contains, that is why it's so called amino. So if you talk about amino, what will come in your mind is there is a nitrogen base or a nitrogen atom. Acid, oh, can you still remember your organic chemistry? If you talk about acid, what is its functional group? That is C double bond O, then OH, COOH. Okay, so if you talk about amino acid, what will come in your mind is there is a nitrogen atom, nitrogen na group, and there is a carboxylic group. Na? Mo man ginatawag amino and acid. That's amino acid. So the carboxyl group consisting of carbon, then 2 oxygen atoms and 1 hydrogen. That is C double bond O, then OH. Okay. So the R group, that is known as the side chain, will determine now the type of amino acid. So, depende din na siya sa side chain or known as, di ba, branching. It will depend on the branching or it will depend on the side chain. You will know what is that amino acid. Okay? So, these are the 5 basic parts of amino acid. Let's go back. The central atom is the carbon. It has an hydrogen, the C, then hydrogen. Then there is an amino group. There is a carboxyl group, and there is a side chain or the branch. Okay, so those are the basic parts of amino acid. Okay, so this is it. Kani mo na ni siya, no? Ako ipa kuani ngani. Kani. This is now your amino acid. So this is, as I have said, this is the central atom. Na carbon is the central atom with hydrogen. Then, you have an amino group. Kani, I hope you are following. This is the amino group, that NH2. Then you have the carboxyl group. Kani, that is C double bond O, then OH. And we have the side chain. Kani, this is the side chain. These are the 5 basic components of amino acid. I repeat, the carbon with hydrogen is the central atom. Then it has a carboxyl group, the COOH. It has the amino group, that is the NH2. And you have the side chain, which is the R group. So all amino acid have the same basic structure. Pareho rin na siya. Asa sila mag-differ? Nganhi na sila mag-differ, mga anak. That is in the in the side chain. Okay. At the center of each amino acid is a carbon, called a carbon attached to a 4 groups. So this is, kadumdum mo, chiral, achiral. Chiral. Kung ang carbon gani attached to the 4 different groups, it is chiral. So tanawa, first group, that is hydrogen. Second group, the R group. Third group, NH2. The fourth group is the COOH. Therefore, your carbon here is chiral. Ang achiral na ay 2 nga different ang pareho or 3, no? Nga pareho. Okay, that is. So, 4 groups, hydrogen, no? We call this as the alpha carboxyl. Alpha kay meaning siya himfollow. Sa follow gani siya, carbon gani nga mo follow sa central atom nga carbon is known as the alpha group. Alpha carboxyl group. Then, follow po siya gani sa central atom. This is the alpha amino. Did you get it? What is meant by alpha? Alpha meaning it follows with the central atom. No? Okay, possibly na pa C nga ni A. Okay, so that is, then the side chain, No? This one, this R is known as the side chain or the branch chain. Okay. The alpha carbon, carboxyl, and amino groups are common to all amino acids. So, what is common? Kani common na siya. Okay, kani common. Kani common. No? Unsay maka unique sa amino acid, it is the R group or the branch or the side chain. Okay? So, this is it. So, compounds with the structure of NH2, kani. This one. NH2 are called the alpha. Basta alpha gani sa to. Human sa. So, this is now your what? This is your central carbon. Okay, so that's alpha. No? So, ang sunod sa central is known as the carboxylic group. Tapos, naa siya'y H na nganhaa. Tapos, this is now your side chain. Kana. Oh. This is lysine. Na? Kung sa may maka-differ di ay sa iya, ma'am. No? So, this is your NH. Ang side chain, no? Diba? Ang kung sa'y common. Common is this one, 1, 2. Then, there is always hydrogen sa ibabaw ng hydrogen. Ana, no? That is common to all amino acid. Kung sa'y mag-differ, it is mauni na ginatawag og side chain. You get it? No? Kaning side chain, this will determine. Kanina gani mao'y side chain. That is lysine. So in lysine, how many carbons do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. No? There is 4 carbons. Then in the last one, but if you are going to have this as carbon 1, diba? Carboxylic group, can you still remember? Carbon 1, carbon 2. The side chain will start with carbon 3 to 6. Okay, so that is known as lysine. So, na, human sa alpha, usang human sa alpha? Beta, gamma, theta, epsilon. So, those are Greek words. What are Greek words? That's alpha. Alpha ni siya, meaning first. Then beta, gamma, what's this? Psi, and that is alpha, beta, gamma. Then this is theta, and this is epsilon. Okay? Psi, pwede po ni siya psi. Psi. Okay. So that's the carbon adjacent to the carbon alpha is called beta carbon. No? Then the gamma. Then the delta and the epsilon. Pwede siya delta, pwede po siya psi. Okay. So that is it. What is this? This amino acid. Don't worry. You are going to memorize all the 20 amino acids. Wow. Okay. So the 20 amino acids are alpha amino acid. Ano ba alpha, ma'am? Kinahanglan mo sunod gid siya kaning alpha gani kay ano man ang first carbon nga ni ang sa to ang first carbon nga na-attach ang carboxylic group. That's the alpha. And it has, what's the amino acid? It has 4 different groups. So that is CH ganhaa. Then after kani this alpha, that is CH. Then this is what? COOH. Then there is then NH kanis ubos. Okay. So 20 amino acids are alpha amino acids with carboxylic acid functionality. So this is beta alanine, lahi ni siya, no? This is beta alanine. Beta alanine is a natural amino acid, though it's not a constituent of proteins. Ngano man? Ma'am, ngano man? Because all amino acid are alpha. All amino acid nga, which is the basic constituent of the nutrient in the body, are all alpha. Dili nato di nato digest ning beta. Kita ra gyud alpha. O alpha ra gyud ta kita mga human beings. Okay. So ang beta, kung mayong kag naay lysine nga alpha, napoy lysine nga beta. Pero ang difference lang is the lysine nga beta dili na siya needed sa atong body. What is needed is the alpha. So beta alanine is a natural amino acid, though it is not constituent of the proteins. sa atong body. Sold as supplement to improve athletic performance. Wow! So, mo na siya. No? So, this will improve physical functioning of the elderly. Included na ko ana. So, I will be drinking a beta alanine. Okay. So, there are also proteins, no? Which are brain enhancers. But those brain enhancers are in the beta. So, dili siya ang food component, no? The protein constituent are alpha. Most of the protein constituent in our body are alpha. Katong mga beta, mauna sa mga enhancers, mga vitamins, so on and so forth. No? So, that's it. That's the difference between alpha and beta. So, most amino acid, no, are primary amines. What are primary amines? Nga naman. Di ba? So, itong this is the central carbon, then the hydrogen, then you have the carboxylic group, COH. Ang sunod na yun niya is the amine. Di ba? Primary. Nga no primary? Nga naman, NH3 na siya. No? So, the exception of this among the 20 amino acids that are natural building blocks of protein is proline. No na exemption. Nga, dili siya primary amine, it is proline. So in proline, the amino group is attached to two rings. We will see it later on. We'll have to delve with this 20 different amino acid and with its structure. Okay, so that is why proline is the only amino acid which is a natural building block in a form of secondary. The rest are primary. Okay. So, oh, ma'am, amino acid are classified into essential and non-essential. Kung may yung kag non-essential, di siya importante, ma'am. No. The difference in this concept is different with the way of thinking that we have. So, these are, let us memorize first the essential amino acid. These are histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, the phenylalanine, the threonine, tryptophan, and valine. The non-essential are alanine, arginine, asparagine, aspartic, cysteine, glutamic, glutamine, glycine, proline, selenoscysteine, the serine, and tyrosine. Oh, class. So these are the 20 amino acid that we are talking as the protein, constituent of protein. Human, nganong essential maning usa, nganong non-essential? Okay, this amino acid which is classified as non-essential because this is directly, okay, these are synthesized directly by our body. So, di na ni kinahanglan nga pagkaon na to, no, with the proteins, and that will be synthesized, that will be degraded, no? Pag synthesize ana na siya sa atong, ang nag-synthesize atong body, meaning it is already present in our body. That is it, that non-essential. But this one should be taken in the diet. I repeat, what makes it essential? This could not, dili ni siya makitaan sa atong, synthesis sa atong lawas, kaning essential. This should be taken from the diet, then after synthesis, una pa na siya. That makes it essential. Importante. Importante ni, in a sense, nga naa na sa ato. Kani, nga nang importante because once we could not have this as nutrients, what will happen? We will be lacking with histidine, isoleucine, whatever. So, you have now met our 20 amino acid, and they are classified as essential and non-essential. Essential in a way because this is already found in our body, in our cell. Now, they can be made by the cells. That is how perfect God made us. Pero what naghirotanan? Kaya di na mga ulo niya. What makes it beautiful is we need to have this intake. Nga naman, because this 8 ba ni? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Remember, 9 ha? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. These 9 are considered essential because this should be taken from our diet because this could not be synthesized. No? The cell could not synthesize it in our body. Unlike this non-essential, naana siya, i-synthesize ra sa cell. Ay, nagkinahanglang ka alanine o synthesize sa cell. Na how beautiful God made us. Oh, nagkinahanglang kag arginine. O sige, i-synthesize na ko sa imong lawas. Nagkinahanglang ka guys din, oy kaon. Ano na yan? Kaon, kaya akong i-synthesize gikan sa nutrient nga imong gi-intake. Ada na siya, ha? That is essential and non-essential. But you should memorize this, okay? So, these are now the groupings of the amino acid. Mabalaan mao gani dili pwede nga walay organic chemistry kay ngano man di man kabalo. So, these are the 20 amino acid. They are non-polar. What do you mean by non-polar? No? Non-polar, meaning they could not be, okay. Ang solvent nga kinahala nato is also a non-polar, like dissolved slide. So what are these non-polar? Later on, we'll have tagsa-tagsa ni. Ato ni siyang tanawon ang iyang structure. The non-polar are alanine, glycine, isoleucine, leucine, methionine, proline, valine. Carboxyl. Ma'am, nga na may carboxyl? Meaning, di ba na may carboxyl group daan? Okay, pila pa ta ka minutes. Okay. Na carboxylic group na COH, naa pa di ay lain nga carboxyl. So, na ay 2 or 3, they are aspartic and glutamic. Na aspartic, na then, ano daan, nga naa siya sobrang nga carboxyl group. Kaya nga naman, this is aspartic and glutamic. No? This one is, naana biya tay daan amin. 2 or more amines na nga group, they are, saan 2 or more nga carboxylic group, that is aspartic and glutamic. They belong to that group. The other one, 2 or more amine group, they are the arginine, histidine, lysine. Aromatic, aromatic, usapin na ay aromatic, meaning there is a ring. So the phenyl, alanine, phenyl daan, meaning what is the side chain? The side chain, the side group, it has a phenyl, a benzene ring. Na? Then the tryptophan and the tyrosine. Oh, hydroxyl, meaning there is what? An alcohol, that OH group. That is the serine, threonine, and tyrosine. And others, meaning wala siya sa either ani nila. That is asparagine, cysteine, glutamine, cellocysteine, and pyrrolysine. Okay? So, what is the classification of amino acid? That is the non-polar, the carboxyl, the amine, the aromatic, the hydroxyl, and others. Okay. So, you should memorize this with the short and the long abbreviation. How does you abbreviation, no? Okay. Alanine has a short abbreviation of A. 10 minutes pa. Wala pa problema unya na. No? Then, cysteine has an, balik ta. Alanine has a short abbreviation. May kang short letter lang. No? Then, the abbreviation is 3. 3 letters. So, alanine comes from the word ala. Okay, that's the abbreviation. And it has a short abbreviation, letter abbreviation of A. Then, the cysteine, mainik isa yun ano. Okay, ang first letter. Pero tanawon ni mo sa coming lahi na. The cysteine is C. Then the abbreviation is CYS. Take a look, the side chain. The simplest amino acid is the alanine. Nga naman, its R is only CH3, the methyl. Mo na pinaka-simplest. So alanine is the simplest. Can you still remember what is the amino acid? That is C H, then usang nga niya nga side, COOH, ang boss, NH3. Then nga niya nga side chain, kung alanine, CH3. Did you get it? Okay, I repeat, if it is your C, which is the central, di ba? C, then H nga to, pwede tapad ng H nga ni, CH, then COOH. Then, ang boss, the amine. NH3. Side chain sa pikas, that is what is CH3. That is how it is being written in the structure. Okay? For the cysteine, it has what? Short C, then CYS. Then, ang side chain nga to pikas is kanisiya ang naay sulfahydryl, sulfur group. The sulfahydryl. Okay. That is cysteine. No? Then, aspartic, oh, di na gyud pwede A. Kaya gano'n na may A alanine. So, gi butangan og D. No, D. Dili B ha? D. That is aspartic. It has an abbreviation of ASP. This is its, what is this? What is this? There is an ethanoic, di ba? Ethanoic. CH2CHOOH. There is a side chain of a carboxyl, CH2COOH. Okay. That is why, mautusulti na ako sa inyo nga ang aspartic na ay duha ka COOH. That is on the right side, yeah, and the left side. No, that is CH2 then COOH because that is the side chain. Then we have glutamic. Ang glutamic is same gihapon na gihapon siya duha ka carboxylic group. No, that's the first carboxylic group on the right side and the left side. That is why kanina sila na acid. Kita kadumdum mo sa atong classification. These are the two which has a carboxyl. They are carboxyl group. Okay. So for glutamic E, then GLO. Then phenylalanine, it's F. Then Fe. So, where is the ring, ma'am? This one, diba? This is the phenyl. C6H5. Okay. Then the glycine is also one of the simplest form of mas pinaka-simple na siya contrast alanine. Nga naman, ang side chain is only H. Na? So that's glycine. G, then gly. Now, meaning, if you can still remember the central atom, the CH, then sunod, COOH ubos, and H3. Then kani pikas H. Na? Okay. So, it's only glycine which is not in a form of chiral. It's a chiral. Ngano a chiral man? Na duha ka chain niya nga hydrogen nga ni hydrogen nga na. No? Samok ni mga iroa. Okay. That is glycine. I repeat, kani ang duha. Pero ang pinaka-simple form of amino acid is glycine. Ngano man? Because of the side chain nga hydrogen ra. No? This alanine, it's methyl ang iyang side chain. Then histidine, H, hes, kani ang iyang, okay, this belongs to the amine. Nga naman, there is again a nitrogen. So, duha nakabuk iyang patulok, nakabuk iyang nitrogen. Katong naa sa side, sa ubos sa central carbon, nga NH3, then naa pag duha kabuk nga nitrogen nga niya. That is why they are classified as, this is classified as an amine. Then isoleucine, I-I-L-E, lysine, K, lys, leucine, L-U, methionine, M, then met, asparagine, N, the ASN. Then pyrroleucine, O, pyle, na PYL. Then proline, P, pro, glutamine, Q, GLN, arginine, R, ARG, serine, S, SER, threonine, THR, selenosin, cysteine, U, sec, then valine, val, V, tryptophan, W, then trip, and tyrosine, Y, TYR. Okay, so you have now met our common amino acid with its abbreviation and the short abbreviation and the components of its side chain. Okay, that's it. You are going to memorize this because we'll be having a quiz next meeting. Probably, I will have, sige lang, next meeting, sa next pa. Okay. Okay. So, di ba, atong itagsa-tagsa. Ang una is the non-polar. Di ba, the classification, they belong to the non-polar. What are these non-polar? That is the alanine, glycine, the proline, isoleucine, leucine, valine, and methionine. So they are non-polar. Why? Di siya kuan ingubit ako sa inyo, they are hydrophobic. What do you mean by hydrophobic? Meaning you could not, no? This could not be dissolved using water, no? It is hydrophobic, no? What makes it hydrophobic? Because it has, no? It has a hydrocarbon branch chain. Okay. Ang pinaka-simple is glycine. Where is glycine? Kani. Diba? Ayun ko sa inyo, ang side chain sa glycine is H gani. So, this is now your alpha amino acid. Alpha carbon, I mean. Asa madapit. Basta na ang gani ka na, iani ang line. Na? Line structure. Pero pwede po, kagamay naman kainin siya, pwede na po ninyo siya structural. So, this is C, H, na? CH, then this is your ubos sa CH, di ba, na ay amino, NH3, then kilid sa C is another COOH, okay, or COO, okay, then you have the methyl, yung methyl, okay, then for glycine, unsa to siya, it's only hydrogen. Oh, the proline, there is this ring. Now here. Then the isoleucine kani ang iyang R group. Then the leucine kani. What's the difference between the iso and the leucine? Isoleucine and the leucine. Okay. The difference only is in the placing of the CH3. Kani sa E, no? This one is tanawa. Lahi ang iya. Ang CH3 is, that is 1, 2. No? Then there are CH there. It is in this carbon here, there is a branch of 2-methyl. Kani, ang branching sa iyang methyl is in a form of iso. No? This one, it's not. No? Then this the valine. Then this is the methionine with the S, the sulfahydryl group. No? So, meet our first group of amino acid or 1 minute. Okay, let's go back later on. So, I will stop muna sharing. Okay, then let me sakajut. Oh. Okay, let me stop. I will post muna the non-polar, the amine. We have the non-polar, the other term there is hydrophobic. What makes it hydrophobic? Resume. Okay. What makes it hydrophobic? Because this could not be dissolved with water. They are water-fearing. Hydrophilic is water-loving. So, ang ligo, mahadlok maligo, tawgalan ninyo na siya o aron dili kaayo. Ula, uy, hydrophobic lagi ka. Oh, meaning, hadlok ka maligo. No, that's it. No? So, they are non-polar. Amigo, ay, nanimaho lagi kang non-polar. Oh, meaning, way ligo. Uy, hydrophobic lagi ka. So, inang gali ka hydrophobic ug non-polar, ay gumusugot. Meaning, wa mo ligo. Okay. They are how many? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 amino acid in hydrophobic or non-polar. Okay. So, why? Because they are having, they are having, what makes it hydrophobic? Because ang branch, the R group niya is having a hydrocarbon chains. What hydrocarbon? C, then another C. Pero ang pinaka-simplest is the glycine. And sunod is the alanine. The rest na siya carbon chain. That's non-polar hydrophobic. Next, aromatic. Tulo sila. That is the phenylalanine. No? Diba? This is your, ma'am, naubos na namin. Maurag hapon na siya. No? Kung mag-write gani ka o formula, ang side chain, dili na nga niya. This is nga na ang side chain. Because in the aromatic, in the amino acid, not aromatic, all amino acid has the N and the C terminal. Hala, dili na gyud langihan ang terminal, dili. This is the N. Your N meaning will be the amino group, which should be in the left side. Then your C terminal should be the right side. So your N comprises of the NH3. Your C comprises the carboxylic group. Asa dapit, mga bata? The N terminal is on the left side. The C terminal is on the right side. Okay. Ang side chain, asa na? Paubos na atong side chain. Kanang pagsulat na. Sa, what they call this? If you are going to write now your amino acid. So this is phenylalanine. What makes it phenylalanine? Because there is phenyl in the group. Actually, this is, usa man ni siya. In our organic chemistry, it's toluene. Di ba? That is CH3, then ring. That is toluene. Okay. So this is phenylalanine. What makes it phenylalanine? Because there is a phenyl and this one. Now, there is a phenyl group in your amino acid. Then this is now your side chain. Tanawa ra, pareho ra ba siya tanan, no? Kani is mao ni basic yung pagsuwat nato. Kani ha, mao gyud pagsuwat nato. Basic pagsuwat nato. Pwede ang CO, pareho ra ba na COH ngani skili ngani Kana kay kana gyud sakto. This one here because that is the C terminal and the N terminal. Ang side chain paubos kana. In tyrosine, we have the phenylalanine, the benzene ring with this is phenol, di ba? Methyl og OH. Kadumdum mo? No? That is, this could either be written as toluene with hydroxy group, or you can have OH, which is what is? Phenol. No? Phenol, and you have methyl. Then, a little bit complicated is the tryptophan. Nga naman, kani ang iyang side chain. So, yun ang phenylalanine o tyrosine. No? Okay. So, this implies contains aromatic. What makes it aromatic amino acid? Because of the presence of the benzene. This one. Benzene ring. Kani. Okay. So, functional group structure making them largely non-polar gyapon sila, no? And hydrophobic due to high carbon hydrogen content. What makes it hydrophobic? Because of the high carbon hydrogen content. That's the answer, no? That is for amino. Aromatic amino acid. What makes it aromatic? Because of the presence of the ring. Okay, next. This is polar, no? Polar hydrophilic. Katong ganina, non-polar to siya. Kung kag non-polar, meaning dili na siya ma-dissolve in water. Okay, here is hydrophilic, meaning water-loving po ni siya. O, mas may nila ng tao nga, uy, hydrophilic, lagi na siya, meaning permanente ligo. Wow, humot. Okay, no? What are this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pod ang non-polar, that is hydrophobic. 7 pod ang polar, that is hydrophilic. That is glycine. This is now the correct way. Kani ang pinaka-correct way, ha? Aron di mo maglibog pag-write sa structures amino acid. That is, this is your alpha carbon, the central. Then you have the glycine. Ang glycine, ang side chain ra niya. Sa to side chain sa glycine is H. No? So, ang glycine pwede po ganiya. Na? That is hydrophilic. So, this is your N terminal and this is your C terminal. Now, glycine, then the serine, the aspargine, glutamine. Okay. Your glutamine, take a look. Glutamine or glutamic acid. Na? So you have in why it is glutamic a carboxyl group, polar po siya, na? Because of the presence of duha na kabuok amin ngania, na 1, 2, na? That's it. Then the threonine, na? The cysteine, and the tyrosine. That is polar hydrophilic amino acid. No? Polar because why? It is uncharged. Take a look. No? Katong ganina. It is with charge. Diba kani? No? Okay. This has a charge. This is the COO, then the NH3. No? This one is the uncharged. No? So, what makes it hydrophilic? Because they are capable of forming dipole group. Okay, wala man siya charge, no? And it has that hydroxyl and the sulfoxyl group, no? Hydroxyl, no? Take a look. Asa man itong hydroxyl group, ma'am? OH, that's the serine, kani, no? Then we have also here the threonine. We have the tyrosine. Mao na hydrophilic. Ano sa man siya ma-hydrophilic? Diba? Kung makaband siya with OH. So, naga na siya excess nga OH, meaning pwede siya makakuha ng hydrogen bonding. Okay? Now, then the other one is, di ba? How is the hydrogen bonding being formed? It could either be with the presence of OH and the sulfur. Take a look. This one has sobra man nga oxygen, na? Sobrang oxygen also, na? Then we have the sulfur here. Na? That makes it a polar hydrophilic. Na? That's it. Then the hydroxyl group. Hydroxyl group with the presence of the OH. That is the serine. Then we have another threonine and the tyrosine. So pwede rin siya mabalik-balik, no? Sa grouping. Then acidic. Ingko sa inyo duha siya kabuok. Or the carboxyl, the what you call this, the carboxyl group. Duha ra gyud siya kabuok. Nganuman na siya excess nga COOH. Okay, take a look. This is the aspartic, no? The D, no? So what happened here is pila ka carboxylic group. We have one, no? And another one here, two. For the glutamic, we have one, then another one here. So that is why it is acidic amino acid. Okay? Then we have basic. May basic, no? What makes it basic? Naa siya two or more nga amine group. No? So, of course, this is the first amine group, then another amino group. No? That is why it's so-called basic. No? Basic. Not acidic, but basic. What makes it acidic? Because of the presence of additional COOH. What makes it basic? Because of the presence of one or two more additional NH2 or NH3. So we have here sa lysine, you have how many amine group? That is 1, 2. For the arginine, you have 3. That is 1, opa di ay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the histidine, we have, di ko kaklaro kaayo, you have 1, okay, na ay, that's 1, 2, 3. That's for the histidine. Okay, balik ka nga to. Okay, that's it. So, that is now our basic amino acid. What are these other amino acid? Okay, they could not even classified as polar. They could not even classified as non-polar. They could not be classified as what? No, hydrophilic or hydrophobic. No? They could not be classified as basic or acidic. That is why it belongs to the other amino acid. That is the asparagine. No? This is the cysteine, the glutamine, not glutamic, glutamine. Kaya nga naman, no? Dili COOH nga additional. Okay. The pyrrolysine and the selenocysteine. So these are the different amino acid. Okay. That's it. No? So I will stop sharing. So mani, unsa na mga time? Dako patag time? Oh, napatay time. Okay. I will stop sharing this. No? Let us proceed to another video. Another PPT. Okay, I will share again another one. This one. Hmm. Sige na. Okay. So, here we are going to study. The first slides is about amino acid and its structure. So, what happened in that slide is we introduce the different amino acid and its structure. Okay, here is what will be the reaction of amino acid here. So amino acid could be amphoteric. It has an amphoteric properties. What do you mean by amphoteric? Okay, amphoteric meaning it will have two characteristics. It could be both basic and both acidic. No? So they could act as either an acid, basic or acidic. That makes it amphoteric. Meaning amphoteric, meaning pila ka book charges na ay positive charge. Asa man na tumakitan ang positive charge? Of course, in the amine group. That is NH3 then plus. Okay. Then where is our negative charge? That is COO negative. I repeat, diba? For instance, we will have the simplest one, that's the glycine. That's C, then H, then what makes it amphoteric? Meaning they could act either an acid or base, both. Na siya acidic or basic. So that is C, central atom, CH, then das COO. Ayaw ba nanging H? Negative. Ang usa ka H, tuwa sa imong amine. Then, you have, for glycine, di ba, it has the simplest, that is H, ang branch niya, H. Then, ganiya is instead of NH2, it will be NH3. NH3, then, it has a positive charge, and that is amphoteric. What makes it amphoteric? It has both the negative and the positive charge. Where is the positive charge? It is in your NH3 plus. Where is the negative charge? Which the amine group is on the left side. That is NH3 charge plus. Then your carboxyl are neutral. Nga naman, naa siya, it could be monobasic. Monobasic meaning usara ka buok ang amine group. Monocarboxyl meaning usara ka buok COO. And being neutral, they are, my professor before, used to pronounce this as Vetter ion. Okay, Vetter, nga naman, it comes from, it comes from a German word, meaning, Vetter ion, meaning it contains both positive and negative charge. Or that is sweeter ion. Pwede po sweeter ion, is Vetter ion, whatever. Okay, so is Vetter ion or sweeter ion is electrically neutral. Nga no electrically neutral? Sa left side na ay positive charge. Sa right side, left and the right, left positive, right na ay negative. So it could not migrate in the electric field. And they are called what? Amphoteric ion, or they are called as Vetter or sweeter ion. So the isoelectric point, the IP, is the pH at which sweeter ion is formed. So how can pwede din natin siya makuha ang iyang IEP, meaning ang pH niya. Pag-migrate sa pag-migrate sa iyang electrons. Okay? So, what are the chemical properties of amino acid? So, the reaction first, the reaction due to COOH group, maka-form siya of salt formation with, pero specific yun, maka-form siya salt, pero what are its counterpart? With the alkali, with the ester, no, formation with alcohols, and the amide formation with amines and decarboxylation. So, what is the first reaction of COH? Salt formation, kinala na alkali group. Then, ester, what makes it ester? Kinahanglan na ay alcohol. Meaning, amino acid plus alcohol to form ester. You get it? Then, the amide formation. Of course, amino acid with another amide compound. And the last one is decarboxylation. Now, upat kabuok iya. What is decarboxylation? You will remove the COOH. Okay, that is the first reaction of the amino acid with the COOH. Asa ang dapit ang reaction? It's with the carboxyl group. The next reaction is the reaction with the amine group. No? Usara gyud ang reaction na niya. That is deamination, meaning mawala ang imong amine. Na? Unsa ang ingredients nga gamiton? It's the ninhydrin reagent. Actually, if unta na to na siya, no? Because the one that is rich in protein is the egg. No, lahi ang egg yolk, lain pod ang white. No? That is it. Mantay laboratory. Sige lang. I will be sending you the laboratory, but your laboratory will be in group. Kaya humano sa ako ni. Then the ninhydrin reagent reacts with amino group, no, in order to form amino acid yielding. How will you know that it is protein using ninhydrin reagent? What's the color? It will have a blue colored product. No? The more blue it is, meaning daghan ang iyang amino acid na present. That is the chemical properties. No? Ang reaction ganina is, so to, duha ka reaction to ha. Ang first is with the carboxyl group. Then, the second is the reaction with the NH or the amine group. Kung saan pinaka-importante nga reagent, it is the ninhydrin reagent. And this will give you a color blue. Okay. Then, naapay daghan nga reaction nga niya. We have the melon, no? Melon, that is mabalaan ninyo nga naa siya tyrosine, no? Because this will give you a red color. Wala din nato ni mahimo. Then we have another reagent that is the Lysine reaction, no, for tryptophan. This will give you a ring. Violet ba ni? Hindi kay ko klaro. Sirado nga na. Then we have the poly reaction. You have the imidazole ring with histidine. Kung na histidine, mabalaan ninyo nga naa-day siya histidine if it will give a yellow to reddish product. Then the Sagoshi test, no, for the presence of additional amide group. It will give a red color. Then the lead sulfide test for the presence of sulfur. And it will give brown. How many? Reaction. Ninhydrin, melon, rosenhim, the poly, the Sagoshi, and the lead sulfide test. Okay, these are the reactions. No? So, peptides and proteins. So, how many amino acid? Let's have a recap. There are 20 commonly protein amino acid. No? Common siya. No? These 20 amino acid are linked together to form a peptide bond. Later on na siya. Next na to siyang lecture. Now, how to form a peptide bond. No? How will you know? No? It's a protein. Kanus amanin mo siya masulti nga protein siya. Dili pwede nga tolora ka buok amino acid combined together. Dili. It should be more than 50. 50 or more. Una pa siya masulti nga protein siya. Pero kung less than that, that is just a polypeptide. Not a protein. Not a protein. That is it. Example of this is the insulin. Insulin comprises of more than 50. Insulin is the one which is being injected for diabetes who have a disease of diabetes mellitus in order to control the intake of too much sugar. Okay. So, How it is being formed? By means of a peptide bond. So na may time. Napay tayo time. Sige. Asa dapit siya mag-bond formation? It is in the alpha carboxyl group of one amino acid na to form sa itong klase nga bond, it's a covalent peptide bond. Na? Ang formation niya is with side chain forms covalent peptide bond with the first, ano man na siya? Diba? Ang first amino acid na to. No? Okay. Unsa ang N group niya? N group na asa left. Dumaha ang right, ang carboxyl. Okay. So, unsa man mo pagsuwat? Okay. So, kung musuwat na po another amino acid, how are you going to, samok ng iroa. Shit. Okay. How are you going to connect it? Okay. Ang COOH, yani, it will form with another amino acid nga, di ba? N nga ni ang sugod. Sige lang, makita na ninyo. Okay. That is it. No? So, usak amino acid with another amino acid, if you are going to link it, it is known as what? It will form a peptide bond that is two amino acid. Ang tawag ana is dipeptide. Pero sa usa ka dipeptide, pila ka amino acid, pila ka peptide bond, usara. Okay, ang usa ka amino acid combines with another amino acid, hapit na. You will form dipeptide. Okay, additional na pud usa ka amino acid. So duha na at tulo na ka amino acid. Pila ka peptide bond? Duha. Additional na pud ka usa ka amino acid. Pila na ka amino acid? Upat. No? I-minus na niyo. Kada duha ka amino acid usa ka peptide bond. Ikatulo ka amino acid, pila ka peptide bond? Duha. Ikaupat ka amino acid, tulo. Sige lang. Magsulat ra mo ani. Okay. By the same way, the dipeptide can then form into the second peptide. So on and so forth. Magsunod-sunod na dahil siya. Bisag pila pa kabuok. So, the repetition of this process generates a polypeptide. So, daghan nga amino acid which is being intertwined with another amino acid. What is that? That is now a polypeptide. Okay, polypeptide. How it is being linked? By means of a peptide bond. Okay, so may naong ana ma'am. Nara. Here. So, if this is now our first, this is, na ginatawag na ko sa inyo, the N terminal and the C terminal. C terminus, N terminus, and the N terminus. Okay, peptide. This is the first amino acid. This is the second amino acid. How are you going to combine this? It will combine with the C and the N terminal. The C and the N terminal. Okay, write it this way. Okay, this is your, usa man ni siya? For instance, this one, this is our first amino acid. So where is our C? Di ba this is COOH? That is C double, di makitaan. Asa man ni dapit? Okay, here. Nara. So, this is it. For instance, kanino, ayaw ni tanawa, kanira, kani. Mo ni ang first. This is our first. First amino acid. Mo ni atong second amino acid. Tra. This is our first amino acid. This is our second amino acid. Naghatag magud og example nga kung ano daan ang amino acid. A little bit complicated. Basta ang tanaw niyo, this is the N terminal and the C terminal. Unsay na sa N terminal, di ba? NH2. Basta dili pa siya mo band, NH yung gamito ninyo nga niya. Okay. Then, this is the C terminal. Kaniwa kaayo ni siya ang first nga amino acid dili ka importante ang N-terminal. Ang C-terminal ang inyong tanawon. So it is in the C-terminal. Okay. That is C double bond O then OH. Na i-OH ganinyo siya. Na then we have here the second amino acid. Nganhi na importante ang the N-terminal. Diba this is NH2, no? So inyong i-separate ang H nga to sa ibaba, ang usa ka H nga to sa pikas. And mga anak, what is this? Kani. This is coming from your COOH. This is coming from your NH2. Get it? Na? If you're going to combine this one, OH and H, usa man ni siya. That is now our water. And kanina tayong ta. Kaning nag-combine, kani duha nga nag-combine the C and the N. Kani diba? Kana mawa na ning OH mo link na dayon ang C og N. That is the C terminal and the N terminal. Kanina siya. Kaningan ang dash is now the peptide bond. You get it? Okay. So this is it. That is how peptide bond formation. Okay. So each polypeptide chain starts on the left side by a free amino group. Then the first amino acid enters into the chain. So it is said as the N-terminal kani. Ang first amino acid. Mao ni ang unang amino acid. Ang first amino acid ni mo i-combine, it will combine with the C and the N. It will follow again. Kanina po, OH. Magkuha na po kag another na po, kanina ni Levitah. No? Magkuha na po kag another amino acid. Of course, same magyapon. It will start with, di ba? H nganhi, then N, then H. So, OH og H, another na po ni siya. So, kung magdungag ka nga niya, this is the first peptide bond. Kanina po nga niya is second peptide. Na? That is how it is being formed. It is formed with the C and the N terminal. No? Where C, your C terminal comprises of the OH, your N has that H. Combine the the OH of the COOH, then the H of the NH2, you will form now the peptide. Now, so each polypeptide chain ends on the right side by free COH group and the last amino acid and termed as the C terminus. That is how peptide bond formation. Okay. So, we have only 3 minutes. We will continue this. No? So, example of peptide, that is dipeptide. No? 2 amino acid joined by 1 peptide bond. No? For instance, the aspartame. Aspartame is the sweetener. Okay. Pila na siya kabuok? 2 na siya kabuok. That is 2 ka amino acid. Tripeptide, that is 3 amino acid linked by 2 peptides. For in example, that's GSH. That is GSH has 3 amino acid. That is the glutamic, cysteine, and the glycine. This is important for the hemodialysis. Then, so on and so forth. For instance, our hormones, oxytocin. Oxytocin has 8 amino acid. Okay. Then 10 to 50 amino acid, that is our insulin hormones. Okay. So I will stop now sharing. Okay. I will stop now sharing. It's almost time. Let me see your faces for the attendance. Attendance na yun, ma'am. O, attendance ta. Attendance. attendance. Show your faces. Di pa ta mag-quiz next meeting, mag-discuss pa ta. Ha? But probably I will be giving assignments. Asa makita assignments? Mga anak, ang assignment to sa LMS. Ang quiz to sa Google Classroom. Okay, sige. Mag-stop po og record.